let's head to Gainesville. We got some Gator recruiting we got to talk about because they have some important recruits on campus for a big SEC matchup as the Gators take on the Aggies in the Swamp. Recruits are going to be on hand for this one. Javion Hilson, he's fresh off that decommitment from FSU, and he's back at Florida. The Cocoa High School standout is looking at a bunch of schools, but Florida, would you say that's the one team in the state of Florida that has a shot to sign Hilson right now?
I think UCF is a program that I'm keeping an eye on in that recruitment. But Florida, Javion Hilson's recruitment is the same as all the others. They got to play well. They got to play consistent. They got to get some big wins. They got to get a win or two that people aren't expecting. And this is not one of those games. This is a winnable game for them. They have to win this one, get on a roll going into what is going to be a treacherous back half of the schedule. Then win some of those games that people aren't expecting. There's some excitement around the program with the way they've recruited. You have DJ Lagway, true freshman, bright future. He's a guy you can build around. Again, win some games that you're not expected to this year, and we can maybe see Florida circle back on some of these recruitments that they've lost and maybe get some momentum with a guy like Javion Hilson.
Yep, and he's not going to be the only one back on campus. Joshua Moore, the Gator commitment that is being pursued heavily by all the other in-state schools. Steve, there's a significant development. Well, I want to see if you think this is significant, but while you were in the air, I don't know if you saw this, but on his Instagram, Joshua Moore posted photos of FSU and Miami gloves. Not because he wants them, because he's trying to get rid of them. Yes, they are for sale. Joshua Moore selling his FSU and Miami gloves. Significant development for the Gator commitment?
Well, it goes in line with what his dad said coming out of that loss to Miami, that his son was still locked in with Florida. He even visited Miami on Labor Day, a couple days after Miami beat Florida in the Swamp. And his dad said that Joshua said he's still all Gator, from the academics that Florida presents, the opportunity there, playing with DJ Lagway. They think they got the quarterback. And then this family loves Billy Napier. They think he's a guy that can turn it around. They like his receiver track record and just his nature in general and the culture he's created. There are some other people, though, that think Miami's still way in this one. So we'll see what happens as this process continues. But the Moore camp saying all the right things. Back on campus this weekend, an opportunity to get some momentum going again in your season. And Florida's got an excellent recruiting class right now with Vernell Brown, Nashawn Montgomery, and Joshua Moore. These are guys that could really help DJ Lagway next year. Joshua Moore is an instant impact type prospect, in my opinion, along with Vernell Brown. So we'll see how Florida plays as their season continues, because Miami is not going away on both those pass catchers.
All right, now Jalen Wiggins, when you talk about holding together this UF commit class, yes, Vernell Brown and Joshua Moore are important, but the trenches is where it's at. And Jalen Wiggins, one of the top defensive linemen in the state of Florida, he's from Tallahassee. He's going to be back in Gainesville this weekend. What are you hearing on Jalen Wiggins? His things kind of calmed down, or are more teams knocking at his door?
Yeah, I haven't heard much about him in Flip Watch. Obviously, he took some visits, went to Florida State. Stanford was a program that has lurked for Jalen Wiggins. He's a Florida fit. Again, Florida's one of the top public school educations in the country. Loves that environment, loves this coaching staff, Coach Armstrong and the rest of that coaching staff. So, again, Florida, it's the same thing with every guy, Josh. They got to start playing well. It starts with Texas A&M. It's an SEC opponent at home, an opportunity to get a good win at a part of a schedule where it sets up for them to get on a little bit of run, get on a little bit of a run before the back half of the schedule gets real treacherous. Then they got to win a game or two that they're not expected to really show these recruits that, hey, Florida football is on the right trajectory.
And I think this is one of those games. So, Steve, this is where we do it. What's your prediction? UF, Texas A&M in Gainesville. What do you think?
I think I'll give the Gators one more chance here. I think that they find a way to make enough plays against Texas A&M, and I think that they're able defensively maybe to do some things that Notre Dame did to frustrate Wigman, and I think that Florida gets it done and gets a big win here in September and creates some momentum going into the middle portion of the schedule.
All right. Gator fans, talk to us. Who do you think's going to win this game? Is it the Gators? Is it the Aggies? Of course it's the Gators. I'm taking them at home too. I know they're getting a couple points, but I like the Gators in the Swamp against a Texas A&M team that might be a little bit better towards the end of the year in Mike Elko's first year, but I think at home, Gators defend their turf and they win. But you guys chime in. Let us know what you think about Gator recruiting. Comment section below.